Hello and welcome back once again to product placement. So this is an item I've been wanting to do for a little while now, but like I said, I had to play catch up to get back to this point. So here we are. Cleared up some more space on the phone. Hopefully I don't run into any problems during this. Hopefully this isn't too long of a video. I basically only have a couple pictures left in this phone at the moment, so all of the videos and everything have been removed. So hopefully I can at least get a 20-ish minute video out of this. If there's like a huge jump cut like in the middle of something, it's because the camera started acting up and I had to stop and do some magic and then come back and finish. So today's item I saw in the store a couple months ago, back when it first came out. I was walking into the store to do some grocery shopping and it was right there in front of the door, like on a big display. I was like, oh, what's this? I looked at it, I was like, that's cool. I'll have to check that out later, depending on how long it stays available, because at the time I still wasn't fully getting back into doing these. This is actually the item that sort of set me back on the track of I want to try this. So now I'm playing catch up on a bunch of other stuff. So you can thank this product for getting new videos out to you guys and getting some of the old videos out to you guys. So I later found out through TikTok videos that this is not available in all areas, or at least it wasn't when I originally saw it. I believe I saw on their website the other day that it's now going nationwide. So you may be able to get it now, depending on where you live, but I'm not 100% sure. But this item is Hard Mountain Dew. So this is the 12 pack, I guess. There are 4 different flavors, so I'm guessing 3 cans of each. We're gonna try all 4 of them. These are alcoholic, 5% alcohol by volume. So if you're one of our younger audience members, you won't be able to try these unless you have like a parent that lets you drink alcohol. Don't do that, that's bad. But like I said, we got 4 flavors here. There were single cans that I could get of each flavor, but they're like the tall boys. And at least with these, if I try out the single can of the small variety and I don't like it, I can just put the others in my fridge, and next time I have company over, someone will drink them probably. Or if somebody wants to try them bad enough, I could always send them out, but I don't know about that. Also, the other reason I didn't want to get the tall boy cans is, one, they all said 0 sugar on them, and I wasn't sure if the case ones were 0 sugar as well, or if these ones had sugar. Looking at the case now, they are all 0 sugar, so that wouldn't have been an issue. But at the same time, the other ones were like 2 for $6, which would have came out to like 12, 13 bucks after tax, and this whole case was like $15, $16 after tax. So I really wasn't saving a bunch of money, and this way I get a few more if I end up liking them. So our 4 flavors here, looking at the box, we have regular Mountain Dew, we have black cherry, not just regular cherry, so it's not Code Red. Well, maybe it is Code Red. I don't know, is Code Red? No, Code Red wouldn't be black cherry because it would be darker. So that's just cherry. So this is black cherry. We have watermelon Dew. We all know I love watermelon. So basically that would kind of be like the alcoholic version of Major Melon that's out now. And then the 4th flavor in here is Baja Blast. So those are our 4 flavors: regular, Major Melon, Baja Blast, and black cherry. I am doing these later at night because I don't have any place to go at the moment. I won't be going any place till tomorrow, so I'll have plenty of time to recover from alcohol content. But this is only 5% alcohol by volume, so it's along the lines of most of your standard kind of like your microbrew kind of things. I was trying to remember how much alcohol by volume O'Doul's has in it, because O'Doul's is a non-alcoholic beer, but it has alcohol in it, but it's under the amount required to be considered an alcoholic beverage. If you get the regular ale, if you get the dark ale, I believe that has a slightly higher alcohol content. It is still considered non-alcoholic, but it is slightly higher. But I don't remember what the alcohol contents on those were. I want to say they were 5%, but it might have been like 0.5% or 0.05% or something like that. So there could be a difference. I'll put it up on screen if I remember. All right, so let's go ahead and open this guy up. It's not an easy way to do it. I was trying to figure out if there's a way I could open it to where I could just pull 1 can out at a time like a normal 12 pack. But it looks like it's going to make me open the entire end here. And it looks like all the Baja Blasts are on this end. Then we got I'm trying not to shake these up too much. The black, or no, that's the watermelon. Then what is this one? This is the regular Dew. And that means I got one more way at the bottom here, if I can get to it, which is black cherry. So there we have our 4. I know you can't see them, but there's 2 and 2. I also want to comment that I really like the mascots on these. That one's a tiger bear thing. This one's like a wolf. This one is an eagle, and this one's a snake. I don't know why, I just like the mascots on them, or the characters, whatever they are. They're kind of sports team-esque logos, which I know is kind of getting overdone in the design world. I know it's kind of popular, especially with esports. Everyone wants to have like a college mascot logo, sports team type of thing for their esports. But it is getting a little overdone as far as the design field. I am a designer by profession. That's what I went to college for, not being a YouTube star. So yeah, it's kind of getting overdone, but at the same time, it's a style that I really like. So what order are we going to do these? I think we'll do them kind of in the order that traditional came out. So we'll do regular first, then we'll follow that up with black cherry, since Code Red technically came out next. Then we'll do Baja Blast, since that was the long-running Taco Bell exclusive flavor that became a thing. And then we'll do watermelon last, since Major Melon is the more recent of the flavors. So that is going to be our order. So we're going to start with Hard Mountain Dew in the green can. This is the Eagle. What does it say on the thing here? 21 plus, contains alcohol, blah, 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 blah. You know what's funny is when I was buying this case, the lady just rang it up and like didn't even ask me for my ID or nothing. I mean, I know I look like Santa Claus sort of right now, but like if I had actually colored my hair recently or shaved or anything like that, she just didn't care. She's like, boop, okay, here you go. Either that or she didn't realize it was an alcoholic thing, and I don't think the register beeped like, hey, is this person over 21? I think it just registered as Mountain Dew. So, gotta be careful of that, store runners, cashiers, because you may have a minor that runs this through thinking it's just a normal 12-pack of Mountain Dew, and then you're going to be selling alcohol to a minor, so be careful. All right, so we're going to crack open the standard Mountain Dew one here first. So we're going to give it the old smell test first. That smells odd. So it smells citrusy like a Mountain Dew, and a little bit alcoholic. Not really like a beer though, because I was originally thinking these are just gonna be like another Four Locos type of thing, where Four Locos would just taste, the one I had was like grape flavor or whatever, and it just tasted like someone had dumped grape Kool-Aid into a beer. So that's kind of what I was thinking was gonna happen here, was it tasted like somebody just dumped a Mountain Dew into a beer. But the smell I'm getting isn't necessarily beer. It's more of a, I don't know, it's masked by the citrus smells so much that I can't really distinguish it. But I'm getting a heavy grapefruit smell. Like, instead of smelling like Mountain Dew, it actually smells more like Citra, back when Citra, actually I think Citra's still a thing, but I think they're owned by, are they owned by Coke now? Is that what I saw? I don't know if they're still available here in the United States. I haven't seen one in forever. But it was a grapefruit flavored soda that I actually used to like quite a bit, even though I don't really care for grapefruits that much. So that's kind of what I'm smelling here, but I also smell a little bit of some type of alcohol. But again, not a beer. Does this say that it is malt beverage? So it is a beer with natural flavors, artificial sweeteners, and yellow number 5. So yeah, it is going to be a beer thing, but hopefully it doesn't taste like ass. Anyway, enough stalling. Let's take a drink of this first one and see what we think. Cheers. Actually, that's not bad. I'm not a beer drinker at all. I can't stand the taste of, well, most beers. There are a select couple of beers that I will drink if that's what's available. But for the most part, I'm not a beer guy. If I'm going to be out drinking with friends or whatever, it's usually like Jack Daniels or something like that. Some type of whiskey, bourbon, whatever. I'm more of a hard liquor kind of guy versus beer. This doesn't taste like beer. Unlike the Four Locos that tastes like somebody dumped grape Kool-Aid into a beer, this does not taste like that at all. It tastes sort of like a soda. Not necessarily like a Mountain Dew. It is actually a bit closer to, I want to say it's closer to Citra with like the grapefruit flavor I'm getting for some reason, but Citra is also somewhat tart from what I remember, and this isn't. This is actually fairly smooth. However, I do get an alcohol flavor, like a beer flavor, as an aftertaste. Like when I held it in my mouth, swallowed it, whatever, I didn't taste it. But then as soon as I started talking and like air was circulating through my digestive tract, I got a heavy like malt beer kind of flavor as an aftertaste. But it's already faded. Like it was there for a second. I was like, don't really like that aftertaste. But then it like immediately was gone. Yeah, I guess if I wanted a beer and these are gonna stick around for a while, I would probably start buying these. Like the other beer I actually like is Shock Top. I tried one of those. I think my sister bought a pack of them for me one time because she knew I wasn't a beer guy, and she was like, well, maybe you'll like these, and she bought me like Shock Top and Not Your Dad's Root Beer. And Not Your Dad's Root Beer tastes like somebody dumped root beer into a beer, so those are still sitting in my fridge. The Shock Tops I actually enjoyed. I drank like 3 of those that night she bought them. And I thought the other 3 were still in the fridge. Apparently somebody nabbed them. I don't know where they went, but I lost my other 3 Shock Tops. But yeah, I like things like Shock Top where there's something else that kind of cuts that malty hops flavor. Actually, this doesn't say it has any hops in it. It just says malt beverage. So it's more of a malt liquor, I guess. Oh, God. I haven't had like straight malt liquor since like the 90s. Which I wasn't old enough to have it back then, but I had it anyway. Like I said, don't give alcohol to kids. It's a bad thing. But yeah, like back in those days, like Mad Dog 2020, Magnum, things like that were like a fairly common thing in the community I grew up in. So it's been a long time since I've just had straight malt liquor. But yeah, usually with beers, I think it might be the hops that actually bug me more than anything. Basically, I don't like ginger ale. And beer usually tastes like ginger ale to me, especially like cheap beer like Bud Light or Coors or anything like that. They all kind of have that ginger ale flavor, and that's what I don't like. I also don't like straight carbonated water. Like I have a SodaStream machine, and then when they went through that whole thing where they were trying to shy away from selling it as a soda creating machine, and they're just like, oh, just it makes carbonated water, because they were trying to cut down on the soda makes people fat thing. So they're like, oh, let's shift our demographic to the health conscious people and just say, oh, you can have sparkling water anytime. I tried that. Carbonated water tastes gross to me as well. It tastes like ginger ale. So even though there's no ginger ale in the actual carbonated water, it still has that same beer type flavor, which I don't like. And I forgot where I was even going with that. But yeah, things like Shock Top that have like an additional flavor, as long as it cuts through that ginger beer type of flavor or that carbonated kind of flavor, I don't mind it. Four Locos, like I said, that was just gross. It tasted like somebody dumped grape Kool-Aid in a beer. That doesn't cut the flavor. For some reason, Shock Top is able to cut through that harsh flavor that I don't like and is actually somewhat mellow like these. So, like I said, if these are going to stick around a while, so far I like this one. If I wanted to have an alcoholic beverage that wasn't a Jack and Coke or straight Jack or whatever, I would probably reach for a case of these again before I went for anything else. Again, other than like maybe Shock Top. There are a couple other beers I'm okay with. Like I don't mind Guinness on occasion, but Guinness is a very heavy beer, and it's like one of those things I only have like once in a great while. Also, there's a brand called Yuenglings. I like their Black and Tan. I like that one. Their straight ale, it's okay, but it's not my favorite. But yeah, as far as like beer flavored things, this doesn't taste like beer except for that little bit of an aftertaste, but like I said, it fades really quickly. So that's the straight Mountain Dew. So now we're gonna crack open the black cherry version here and see if this tastes the same, better, or whatever. Also, like I said, these are the zero sugar versions. It does say it has artificial sweeteners, but it's not sugar or high fructose corn syrup, so I'm guessing it's probably whatever they use to sweeten Mountain Dew Zero. Is Mountain Dew Zero a thing? Zero sugar Mountain Dew? Yeah, it's gotta be a thing, right? Alright, so we're gonna crack open the black cherry version, give it the old smell test. Wow. That smells like straight black cherries. That's nice. Ah, that smells like natural, like you get a nice black cherry out of the thing, just bite into it. It's like that juice spray, the essential oil that shoots out of it. That's what this smells like it's actual cherry juice versus the synthetic cherry juice that you would have in like a grenadine or something like that. I do get that same hint of some type of an alcohol smell. It's not heavy grapefruit like it was on the other one. I'm mostly getting the black cherry smell, but there is like a little hint of something at the end there. I really like that smell. Like if that was just the smell in my house at all times, it would be amazing. It kind of smells like when you cut into a warm, like a fresh out of the oven cherry pie. I'm not a huge fan of cherries in general, like eating them, but cherry flavored things I do like. So like cherry pie wouldn't be my go-to for pies, but I love the smell of a cherry pie, if that makes sense. So it kind of has that smell. So let's see if it tastes like a cherry pie. Cheers. That one's not bad, it's different. So the thing is, I like Mountain Dew. I can't stand Diet Mountain Dew. Like I've literally like gone into a store, grabbed a Mountain Dew, and got out to my car and realized, oh crap, I grabbed a Diet. And I will turn around and drive back to the store and be like, hey, I grabbed a Diet when I meant to grab a regular. Do you mind if I exchange it? I went back like literally probably like a 3-minute drive back down the road to turn around and get a regular Mountain Dew because I realized that I bought a Diet. So Mountain Dew Zero sugar, like I said, I don't remember seeing. I don't know if I've actually tried it or not. But this one actually tastes more closer to a Diet Mountain Dew type of thing, but it does have the cherry flavor as well. The thing is, it also has that kind of alcoholic aftertaste, but it hits you a lot sooner. Like I was still holding it in my mouth and I was like, okay, I can taste the malted kind of hoppiness of this drink versus the other one. It hit me a lot faster. Again, it's already gone, but like hitting me faster and then lingering afterwards just kind of made it seem like it was around a bit longer than I needed it to be. This one also has a bit of a chalky taste to it. Almost along the lines of an energy drink or like a Kickstart, whichever ones are going on. Overall, not bad though. Like it's not undrinkable. It's just the way that aftertaste hit me so quick. I was just kind of like, I like the other one better. And unfortunately, that chalky taste and the alcohol aftertaste kills the entire flavor of the black cherry. Like I get a very, very faint sensation of it, but compared to how this smelled versus how it tasted, I could sit here and smell this one all day. I would love that. But tasting it, nah, not really. I'll finish this one. It's not gonna go to waste. But as far as the two I've tried so far, the other one's winning. So that's all I got to say about the black cherry one. Smells amazing. Taste, you might like it, you know, if you like those energy drink like Kickstarts and things like that, or the amped energy drinks or stuff that have that kind of chalkiness to them. You might like this one, but like I said, the cherry's kind of lost on all the other flavors. The smell is nice, but the flavor, So that's number 2. All right, so our next one up is Mountain Dew Baja Blast. That's the one with the wolf on it and the light blue, not green. I'm trying to remember what flavor Baja Blast is because I haven't had it in a while. I want to say it's somewhat more of a lime flavored versus the lemon lime flavor of the regular Mountain Dew. I believe Baja Blast is a bit more on the lime side. But like I said, it's been a while since I had it, so I'm not 100% sure. So let's crack it open and find out. Gonna give her the old smell test. That has like no smell to it. Like, I smell the wetness from the can touching my nose and like the condensation on the can, but the overall smell, there's like nothing there. If anything, I'd say it's like borderline, like very minuscule, kind of that bubblegummy kind of scent, or maybe a slight chalkiness, like maybe a blueberry-ish kind of thing, or the blue raspberry, dark raspberries, whatever you want to call them. But I'm not smelling like anything that reminds me of Baja Blast, but like I said, I don't remember Baja Blast that much. I know I've tried it, but it's not one of my go-to flavors, so I really don't remember anything about it. Yeah, there's a smell there. It's so very faint that you almost can't discern it from anything else. At that point, I might as well just be smelling the air. Anyway, let's take a drink and see what we think of the Hard Baja Blast. Cheers. I think I found one I don't like. Oh. That does not taste like the Baja Blast that I remember. Again, it's not like it's a heavy beer flavor or anything like that. I actually don't get any of the beer aftertaste out of that one at all. It's just like a very, it's not tart. I don't even know how to describe that. Like there's no citrus flavors or anything like that to it. That's that very, very faint line of like that bubblegum type of thing. Heavy chalk, but not bitter, not tart. Just hits my palate wrong. I remember liking Baja Blast okay. It wasn't like my favorite go-to thing, but I remember trying like, okay, that's fine. This, I don't know. So far out of the three, this is the one that gives me absolutely no alcohol aftertaste. Like even now that I've been talking for a minute, which is normally when I would start to feel it from the first one, I'm not feeling it. Honestly, what this mainly reminds me of is, like I said, I don't like Diet Mountain Dew. And this is sort of what Diet Mountain Dew tastes like to me. Like when I take a drink of a Diet Mountain Dew, I'm just like, oh God, that's diet. That's kind of what I get out of this. Does not taste like Baja Blast. It's a little bit of a fruitiness to it. Like I said, that very, very, very faint hint of that sort of bubblegummy type of thing. So I'm guessing that's a fruit flavor of some sort. But other than that, no, it just kind of tastes like a slightly chalky Diet Mountain Dew. Maybe that's what, was it Kickstart Ultra that I skipped? Yeah, I think it was Ultra, because they had the energizing original Dew, and then at the same time they had the one in the white can, which was basically the same thing, but it was Diet Mountain Dew, but they called it like Kickstart Ultra or something like that. I'm guessing that had I bought that one and tried it, this is what it would have tasted like. Except minus the fruit flavor. It probably would have been worse, honestly. Yeah, it's just something in there, like it hits your tongue and it just like spreads through your taste buds. And I know I said it wasn't bitter, but it is kind of a bitterness like on my tongue. It doesn't give you like a bitterness through your whole mouth or down your throat or anything. It's just like just on the tip of my tongue. It's like almost like if you've ever eaten something that's moldy. Like say you had some food in your fridge and you're like, oh, I'm gonna eat up the rest of those leftovers, and you pull it out and you don't notice that it's not fully like got mold on it, but it's gone off. And you take the bite of it and you kind of get that like prickly, like, hey, this isn't right kind of feeling on your tongue. And then you end up spitting it out like, oh, that's gone moldy, and you just throw out the whole thing. That's kind of the prickle that I get on my tongue. Almost like licking a 9-volt battery. Don't do that, by the way. Except not like the joltiness of it, just like that tingle that you get. Yeah, so far out of the three, this one's a no-go. All right, so let's move on to the final one. The good old snake from Slytherin. Actually, no, I guess that one worked. I was gonna say, why didn't they do like a Harry Potter theme with like, have the snake be on the green one, and then like Baja Blast, since it's blue, could have been Ravenclaw. The cherry one, that one could have been like a Griffin for Gryffindor. But then that would have left this one as Hufflepuff, and it's not yellow. If there was a yellow one, they could have done a full Harry Potter thing. Associate Harry Potter with alcohol. Yeah. All right, so this is watermelon. This is the snake version. The snake design on the can, I should say. And now I've twisted my fingernail to where I can't get it under the thing. There we go. All right, let's give watermelon Hard Mountain Dew a sniff and see what we think. I just had Major Melon again recently, so let's see how this compares as far as smell. That doesn't smell like watermelon. Honestly, it smells a bit more along the line of like a peach, because I'm not like a fan of peach at all. So when I smell a peach, it's just kind of like, yeah, it reminds me that I don't like the flavor. Like I sort of like the smell of peaches, but they remind me that I don't like the flavor of peaches. And in addition to peach, I'm not smelling watermelon. I'm more smelling cantaloupe, which is a type of melon. It's the one that is about yay big. It's got like a whiter rind on the outside, and then when you split it open, it's like an orangish yellow kind of color inside. Similar to like a honeydew. Is the honeydews yellow or... Try to remember, because there's like the traditional watermelon that's like green on the outside, pinkish red on the inside. Then you got the cantaloupes, which are kind of an orange. I think honeydews are actually a bit closer to a yellow than an orange. Although I could be wrong, a cantaloupe and a honeydew could be the exact same thing. And then you have the one that's got the green inside, which I believe is a muskmelon. It's been a long time since I've had them. They were pretty common back when I was a kid in Michigan. Like you would have different types of melon, but since I've left Michigan, the only thing I ever really see is watermelon. Which, like, perfect example is one day I was at work and this girl came in with like this drink that she got at a place, and she's like, "Oh, this is really good. You want to try it?" And I was like, "Sure." So I got one of our little sample cups, and she poured some out of her cup after she'd already drank out of it. But I don't care. She was cute, whatever. But she had gave a little bit to another guy as well because he wanted to try it. And he drank it before I did. And he goes, "Oh, well, it sort of tastes like cantaloupe or like a muskmelon if you're familiar with those." And I was like, "Wow, somebody actually knows what a muskmelon is." And he's like, "Well, yeah, I'm from the Midwest originally." I was like, "Oh, that explains it." Because like I said, growing up in the Midwest, and I'm originally from Michigan, those were a commonplace thing. But after I kind of left the Midwest, it's kind of like nobody really... It's not that no one knows what they are, so you don't see them that often. So when you mention them, people are like, "Oh, what's that?" And once you explain, like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've never tried one, but I've seen them," or something like that. But she's like, "No, it's watermelon. It said right on the thing, like, watermelon flavor." And I was like, "Well, a cantaloupe or muskmelon or whatever is a type of melon, but it's not it's not the green rind, pink inside watermelon. It's a different type of melon." So did it actually say watermelon, or did it just say melon? And it's like, no, it said watermelon. But then, like, as she's pouring a little bit out of her cup into mine, I noticed it actually has like chunks of fruit inside of it, which is what's giving it the flavor. And it's basically a piece of cantaloupe. And I was like, "Okay, it's got cantaloupe in it." I said, "That's the orange piece of fruit that you have there." She's like, "Oh, well, it said watermelon." I was like, "It's a type of melon, but it's not a watermelon. There's a difference." Anyway, it smells more like peaches and cantaloupe. It was the whole point of that story. I might edit that out. I don't know. But I get to talk about this girl I used to work with. Anyway. Yeah, not really getting much of the alcohol scent, unless that's what's giving that peach smell, is that it's the alcohol mixing with things, which could be because peaches do have kind of a sharp scent to them. But yeah, let's see if it actually tastes like watermelon or major melon or whatever. Cheers. That is tart. Ugh. Flavor-wise, I like it better than the Baja Blast, but that tartness, oh God. Like, that just gives you cotton mouth, like, straight away. Oh, geez. So I thought I had my order figured out on which one I liked versus which one I didn't like on a scale of 1 to 4. Now I'm not sure. Yeah, like, I don't get any flavor of anything. Like, there's some type of a flavor there, but it's just so tart, it sucks all the flavor right out of your taste buds. Very, very faint aftertaste of an alcohol. Like, that maltiness is kind of like under my tongue right now. It's not on my tongue, but it's like floating under it. Like, hey, you had something malty. Yeah, I said the flavor, it's there like at the start, but it's just quickly sucked away by how tart that is. Okay, so this one, flavor's okay, but kind of tart. Did I like it better than the Baja Blast? Let's find out. I don't know. I don't like the flavor of the Baja Blast at all, but it doesn't give me that tartness that the watermelon one did. But overall, I like the taste of the watermelon better, except for the tartness. So which one is worse? Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, I'm going to say that tartness just kills that one. I don't like the flavor of this one at all, but at least I could drink it without getting... Like, my mouth is so dry right now. So, bottom of the list, watermelon. It's just too tart. I can't taste the watermelon or anything else in it. The smell is off-putting because it smells like peaches, alcohol, and cantaloupe rather than watermelon. Basically, the main downfall is the tartness. Number 3, Baja Blast. Very, very close to tying for worst. The flavor on this one is horrible, but it doesn't have that tartness at the end. Yeah, just the overall flavor of it's kind of gross. If it wasn't for the tartness, I could actually drink this one. So, like I said, these are like borderline tied for worst. Number 2, the Black Cherry. Now all I'm tasting is the other two, so I can't even remember what flavor notes I said about this one. But yeah, I know that one was number 2 because the one I liked the most was the original guy here. Good old natural Mountain Dew, green. Hopefully I can still enjoy it now that I got all that other crap in my mouth. Not as good as before, but still goes down smooth. I still got like tartness and dryness in my mouth from the watermelon one. But yeah, that would be my ranking. Number 1, number 2, and tied for worst, but slightly higher just because this one isn't bitter, but it tastes like ass. This one tastes okay, but is extremely bitter. The order is basically the way I tried them. All right. Will I drink the rest of this case? Maybe. I know if I want an alcoholic beverage, or if I'm just like out of regular drinks in the house, I'm like, oh, I need something with dinner. I'll probably pull out another one of these green ones, maybe even the red ones. These other 2, I will pass off to other people. Yeah. So I got 3, 6. I got half of a 12 pack that's drinkable, except I already did 4 of them for the video. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 out of 12. That means 4 will sit in my fridge until somebody decides to try them. All right, that is going to be it for this episode. Again, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Links should be in the description. Ring the bell. Make sure you get notifications every time I post new content. And until next time, cheers.